Yeah, just kick back, just kick back. Having a little any. Actually, I'm in my bed. What a life! What a life! What a life! I just kick back, sitting in my bed, having a little any on the rocks. Have a little cigar, Cuban cigar here, as I always do. Just looking back, just looking back at some of the things that I've done in music. Over the many years. 50 years, 50 years of in the music. I mean, what more could I do at this stage right now than just kick back and look back at some of the things I've done, some of the concert I've done, whether it's promoting the concert or just performing live in concert, which I have done so much live concert performance over the years. It's not funny. A lot of people don't even know that I'm also an artist, musical artist in the music business. Yeah. In high school, I started out as a drummer. I was a drummer for my high school band, and then I merged into promoting in 1975. I started promoting my first concert with Bob Marley, June 22nd, 1975, at the Bushnell Theatre, downtown Hartford, Connecticut. Very much historical. And if you go online and you just Google a simple thing as Ardie Cuban promotes Bob Marley, you will see a lot of entries comes up in the archives from all over the world about that. New York Times reporting many times about that moment in time in the music. So that's how it started, with me promoting. But before I start promote, I used to play the drums in my high school band. When they have the Thanksgiving turkey game in the Dillon Stadium downtown Hartford, I was the drummer guy for the Weaver High School marching band. Then I learned to play other instruments, start singing, Then, like I said, in 1975, I merged into promoting. And I did a lot of years of promoting and went into the studio, record many, many songs. Some of those songs, or should I say catalogs of songs, you could find them today at soundcloud.com, Ardie Cuban. So go to soundcloud.com, Ardie Cuban, and you could find catalogs and catalogs of tunes by me. Or you could go to reverbnation.com. You'll find different catalogs of songs from me, Ardie Cuban. And if you go to Capsicum, why the name again? Why the record label name again? Record label name again? CapsicumRecords.com. It's a record label that I record for. You could find much more tunes there at that label. So I've done a lot of stuff. I've recorded songs for my son Mario Chief. I've recorded songs that my son Sean Wallace produced for me as well. And I self-produce some of them too. So I'm gonna show you some live performance and little skitlets of stuff that I've done in the music. See it. So it's been a long journey in the music, and what can I say more than praise God for giving me the multi-talent to execute all of that. So without further ado, here we go. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So, that's how the boy go on when me hit the stage. There's many modes of Ardie Cuban, many modes that I gets into my element with. And what you just see there on the TV screen is one of the modes that I get into when I'm not promoting. And in the music and in the music journey that I travel into, I've done everything in the music. It's not just promoting, as you could see. And I know many of you is amazed right now by seeing that live footage with me performing in front of thousands of people and able to keep the people glued and able to keep them entertained. I'm doing what you call is a presentation. Whenever I go on stage, I don't perform. It's only idiots perform. I don't perform. I do presentation for the people that is standing in front of me, that whenever the concert is over and they leave and they go home, a month after they could remember the presentation that I has made. So that's why I don't perform. The people that perform, when they finish, nobody remember none of the songs they sing, not even the lyrics to the song they sing, or to remember that you was even on stage. But in my case, because I've learned it from the best of the best in the music, that taught me, say, Cuban, whenever you go on a live stage and the MC hand you that mic, what you must do is focus on doing presentation for the people in front of you, not to make a mimic out of yourself. Call yourself performing. I don't perform. I do presentation. So that's what you see. So let me take you into another cut from different time when I'm doing some presentation here. All right. So that's, yes, man. So that's another performance where when I step out on stage, all of the college students just run up on stage to join me on stage. Beautiful, beautiful young gems, college gems, all girls, just run up on stage. Some of them are climb over the barricades just to come beside Cuban, to be beside Cuban during my performance. Security want to stop them, and I tell the security, just allow the girls and make them come celebrate with Cuban. And me name Cuban, you know. Every girl want to be beside Cuban. It's a different element, when I step out on the stage. I'm telling you. Like, look at this one now, for instance. Okay. So I know you guys are ready for signing, so we're gonna bring on Ardie Cuban. That's my father. Tonight is his birthday, so we're gonna do something else for you guys tonight, So let's go, pick it up. Jano. I must admit, I know, I pissed off a lot of people all the time and every day, because a lot of them look at me and they say that Cuban is conceited. Some of them say Cuban shows off. Some of them say Cuban is very bossy. But what I have to tell these infidels that say these things about me, are my enemies, are my haters, you got it wrong. You got me wrong. You just don't understand me and what makes me tick and what makes me become very successful in the music. It's called confident, overconfident. So when you see this little display here, I want you to understand and begin to use the right terms rather than saying Cuban show off or Cuban bossy, you know. Just say Cuban, the man Cuban is very confident, very much so, overconfident within myself. Because if I was not confident within myself, you wouldn't have anything to talk about and you wouldn't get to be part of the conversation when you're on the street corners with those cheap gossiping about a legend like myself, you know. So change that wording and call it Cuban overconfident because I have to be confident. Because if I'm not confident, then you're not going to believe in me even though you're my enemies, right? So let's go again and I show you some more.
I'm not going to everything about age. I'm not
That's how you feel.
Yeah. Your daddy is very healthy and strong, you don't see me. You never see me sick yet, not you?
Huh?
You never see me sick yet.
Oh, really?
Sign that guitar. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Bring it come and autograph it, yeah.
We're going to autograph it too for the museum. Bring everything we autograph it.
See right now, from your
This year and last year we did it.
the greatest thing, you know, is Mario. See right now, from as a parent, when you have a good support from your children, that's the strength you need, you understand me? Because when you have the family support from your children, that strength is going to take you anywhere in the world because it motivates you, know. You want to do more to elevate so they can elevate you. You understand me? What I'm saying? See? Yeah, man, I just want to get my drive from it. Anything I do. You get the privilege of signing that sucker. Is that a big enough cigar?
We won't sign it, you know.
Havana?
We'll sign it for you too, man.
Don't you would.
We'll sign it, yeah, man. We're going to sign it to you, man. Sign it up, daddy. So nice to talk. I'm going to hold it there.
We're saving the precious one.
Alright. One time, man. Cuban just sign it. No, Chief will sign it. Look, show it, everyone. Ardie Cuban, Coneva. No matter what else I sign it. Beat me, everything. But Chief.
How many names you got?
I
can't read it upside down, so it looks like you're signing for about 4 people.
Right, sign it under it.
All right, good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Come on, respect, man.
Watch me out.
Checking in, this is Dustin in another episode on Curly Training Live. And we're having the building a special guest, Ardie Cuban, an event planner, promoter. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, to see my age, you can't say nothing more than you're living great.
Facts.
It's been a million years. That's what millionaire mean, you know.
Yeah.
Is when you live past 20.
Because to me, a lot of people don't know the impact and the magnitude behind Ardie Cuban name.
That is true.
And now we're going to give a thing called history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
But not just a history lesson. We're going to educate people and give them some knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But before going to any form of information, why the name Cuban? Because this is an interesting one. I mean, people call you Cuban. Yeah. But where does the name Cuban come from? Is it a Cuban cigar like the one you're smoking right now?
Yes, good question, and I'm glad you asked me that question. Now then can't stop asking me the question when you see me.
Yeah, where the name Cuban from?
By me always sporting a Cuban cigar that comes out of Havana, Cuba.
Right.
You understand me? The people give me the name. I didn't give myself the name. When I was singing, you know, when I was singing.
You used to be a singer?
That's what I first did.
Okay, so now this is new. This is new splash people because I only know Ardie Cuban as a promoter, event planner,
exactly,
creating some of the most impactful events. It's because remember, people talk about the events that you keep because you don't bring on simple acts.
No.
Right? So
mega
acts, yeah. Impactful acts. So this is crazy. You used to be a singer. You had interest in being a singer.
Yes, I started out in high school as a drummer.
Okay, so you used to play the instrument. I learned too much things now in the Ardie.
I took a music school going to the old Weaver High School on Blue Hills Avenue in Hartford.
That's here in Hartford,
So
yeah.
that's the school I graduated from. So when I was in high school, I just feel the urge of music. So I take a music class and started out playing drums. Then my music teacher, Mr. Steele, taught me the keyboards. And the other day at the sound check at Luciana's show, people was amazed to see me playing the
Playing
keyboard.
because you still have the talent.
Yeah. So when the technical advisor said, I need somebody to play the keyboard so we can set the levels,
Right.
I went up and began to play the keyboard. And
So they can get it right.
Wow.
So when you really think about it, it's not just about you being a promoter.
No.
Let's take it to a higher level.
No.
You're passionate about entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and so you play many parts
Yes.
to the point where your major is promotion. Why you major in promotion?
Because I love aggravation. I really love it. Aggravation drives me to be a greater person.
Wow.
I like when people tell me I can't do and that can't happen. I love that. That's the gas.
So you like to prove people wrong.
No, prove myself right.
Alright, that's a different way. That's a different way of putting it. You like to prove yourself right
Yes.
because you know you have the potential and you're strong with in anything you're doing, and you're gonna put your best foot forward.
Yes.
So you always do that and stay
Yes.
within that realm.
Yes, and you have to be self-motivated. You
have to be.
You can't wait on them to tell you that you're good or you're great. Even though every day I call you and I say, yo, keep going at this, man, build it that way, and I'm gonna shoot this for you, and I'm gonna market this for you. Is to also build up the self-motivation in you.
You have to also be self-efficient.
Yes.
So self-motivation becomes self-efficient because then you do things that make people be like, wow, I didn't know he had that in him. So you, Ardie Cuban, is self-efficient.
Yes.
And I'm very motivated by that because even myself, I always pride myself that, the motivation should first start with yourself.
Yes.
You have to first start with yourself.
You see, Dre, coming up from an early age in this music arena, right? I realize the boundaries. You understand me? I realize the boundaries, that there's boundaries there. And it's not just in the music, it's just in normal life. And when I say that, it's because you have to realize that when you are building a skyscraper building, there is Edens with sledgehammer around the other side knocking out the foundation.
Crab in a barrel.
Yeah. So you have to build up this self-confidence.
So it's solid.
Motivation inside, so it's solid, yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the best option in anybody's life. Whatever you're doing, basically Ardie Cuban is telling you in not so many words. First start with yourself, be self-efficient, be self-motivated. Ardie Cuban, I have a question for you. Yes, where you first grew up?
Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Montego Bay.
Yeah.
So, what school did you attend? Was it in Montego Bay?
Before I came to America, I attended a school called Mount Warren Primary School.
Mount Warren.
Mount Warren.
Okay, so I wouldn't know that one.
No, you wouldn't know. A lot of people would know that.
So
that's why I said earlier, I said where I was brought up, I'm not supposed to be in this music at all. I'm not supposed to know none of these artists. I was brought up close to an area where Jimmy Cliff was born. Jimmy Cliff come from.
right.
Like maybe 3 miles from there. John Holt come from that area. And adjacent to the next province over would be Westmoreland. Where
Oh,
Peter Tosh come from.
yeah.
Yeah. So Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff, none of us supposed to be in music when you look at the environment of where we coming from.
So everything kind of happened.
Bush place, pure bush or mountain.
What would you say made things come together?
God Almighty.
God Almighty,
Yeah,
yourself.
man. God Almighty.
Because you never planned this.
No, I'm never planning.
It kind of just formed itself and happened.
Mm-hmm. Not even clothes that I wear, I plan to wear them. I just wake up when you say come for the interview, I just wake up and make God just decide what attire I should put on.
Facts.
I don't plan nothing.
What keeps Mr. Cuban motivated?
First of all, God Almighty, because if it wasn't for Him, I would even be here today. I could tell you many times where I'm supposed to be, wipe off the hurt. But God Almighty seems to want to keep me around. So this is why I accept even more today that He chose me to do this music. And then I have a great family because my wife, my grandchildren, my children also keep me strong with the willpower to move on and upwards.
It sounds to me like you're describing your circle that impacts you to be who you are.
Yes, my circle is very small. I don't really let people in my life. I'm really, really private. Even though I'm musical, I have two type of life. I got a public life, which is my musical journey that I give to the public. They can have that. They can know everything about me with that. See? But then my other life is my private life. Like my wife, they will, however, see me post pictures of her or see me limited in public with her.
Yeah.
That's because that's my private life. I don't let nobody in that side.
I think you should protect your private life.
Yeah.
It's not a secret. It's just private.
And because of how I live that private life, they make me to be a celebrity out of that. Because everybody want to know.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Yeah, everybody want to know why. We see your wife. If you go on my Facebook, you see the comments. Great comments I make about my wife when I put her picture. Boy, you're the one, man. Me see a post your wife picture.
Yeah, but when you're proud,
yeah,
you know what I mean, you will honor the person you're with.
Sometimes I give them a little peek into my private life.
Yeah, because it's not a promotion. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
And it's an honorable privilege.
I know I have that power to pull it away whenever
you need to.
Yeah,
I have an exciting question. There is a book that is written that you are featured in. Tell us about this book. I mean, first of all, there's a little controversy in the book where you were actually locked up after, an altercation with the cops.
Right. Don't just say locked up, say get arrested.
You were arrested.
Understand, because locked up would be in the room at your house.
Yeah, so you were arrested.
Yeah.
After an altercation that took place with, the Marley family. And you were put in jail for the night.
Yeah.
And that didn't result with an altercation with video recording at a concert.
Yes.
And, it was taken away, and then you were there to defend, when like, hey, everybody have a right. You're trying to resolve the issue based on how the book is written.
Ziggy Marley.
Defend Ziggy Marley.
Yes.
So make we speak it. You were there to defend Ziggy Marley because, basically, it was just a misunderstanding.
Yes.
But I think the ignorance, based on how I read it, the cops, they use their power and their force to belittle the situation.
Yes.
Tell me about this book and, the chapter that features you.
I start telling you about that book by telling you that it's a bestseller book. It's the newest bestseller book about reggae and reggae legends. It's called Reggae My Life Is, written by Copeland Forbes, who was Ziggy Marley road and tour manager. At one point, Bob Marley tour manager, Luciana tour manager, Marcia Griffiths, Gregory Isaac, John Holt. That's the man that wrote the book. I must put in Jimmy Cliff, Dennis Brown road manager. That's who he is, Copeland Forbes.
Amazing accolades so far.
Yeah, so in that book it contains all the legends that your mind could imagine of. And it's a good thing because I had worked with all of those legends. So in 1986, 5 years after Bob Marley passed away,
right,
Rita Marley, Copeland Forbes, Ziggy Marley was only 17. They decided to do the first tribute to Bob Marley 5 years after
he passed. Yeah.
So they called me up and said, could you host the Hayward Tour? That's the name of the tour, Hayward Tour in Hartford for the Marley family. So I says, yes, I'll do it. I never say no when it comes to music. So they put the tour together, 5 busload of Bob Marley entire family converge on Hartford that night. You understand me? So you have Ziggy Marley was only 17 years old. Stephen Marley, his brother, was only 14 years old. Nadine Sutherland, which I currently work a lot with still, she was only about 16 years old. Rita Marley, Bob Marley's wife, was there. Judy Mott, Bob Marley backup singer, Marcia Griffiths, Bob Marley backup singer, known as the I Trees, they was there. But there was a special person there that night that performed, which it was Bob Marley's mother, Miss Sidela Booker. First time this happened in Connecticut. So this whole inspiration created a historical moment, historical movement in the history of Connecticut music or reggae music on a whole. Never can be repeated. See? And in the contracts that we have with their company, it says no videotaping. So I, as a promoter for that show, my duty is not only to promote, but my duty was also to ensure that nobody violate the right of Bob Marley
or any of his associates.
Yeah, or any of his associates. Yeah, nobody should violate that. It clearly says it in the contract. See? So when Ziggy Marley, 17-year-old, was on stage performing, there was this guy sneaking a video camera, Panasonic video camera. You know, look, you know, about this big. I don't know how he's sneaking in, but he got it in. And Flash Garden, who was the stage manager for Ziggy Marley, saw the red light on the camera and he walked over and tell the guy to turn it off. You can't video Ziggy. You just can't do what you feel like when it comes to Bob Marley Empire. Not even with his t-shirt. Much less to video. You understand? And the guy refused to put out the camera. So Flash Garden attempt to take the camera away from him. So the guy punched Cash. And a tussle began. The police came inside. To tell you the truth, at that time, 1986, the police them in Hartford. That time the jail was downtown at Morgan Street. That's where it was, right behind the G-Fox building. At that time, 1986, we were still in the era of this black and white issue. Racism, still in it, you know. So
but it's worse back then.
Yeah, so the police them that come, they see 2,000-3,000 black people there, all Rastas. That create another scene. Them scared, police scared, you know. So the police them never come as police, them come as murderers.
In your opinion?
Yeah, they're not true. They come as murderers. That's because they begin to take baton and beat people with it. Hartford police just randomly just beat everybody that black that they could catch. So when I see that happening now, I went over to the lieutenant in the white shirt. I says, you can't beat up that man. That's Ziggy Marley, road manager. He said, who are you? I said, well, I am the promoter. Yeah, you is who I want. And he grabbed me and threw me in the back of a truck with like 30 more people. Was already a black truck, you know, the black jail truck. Them.
One would say they came prepared.
Yes, they did. They come in riot gear in that night. You know, this thing went so big, Dre, that CNN picked it up, NBC, CBS News, every major news outlet that you know, pick it up. Even 60 Minutes. Pick up the story because remember, you know, you're dealing with Bob Marley family.
That's a huge deal.
So when I say historic, it's historic because of all what I'm telling you and it's laid out in the book. And that is how I get featured in the book because all of that story represent and happen around me. I'm the promoter. So that's something that become historical value for the rest of everyone's life.
And that, and the fact that you're in that book and associated with the Bob Marley family, even though it's a controversial story, it shows a lot of involvement within the entertainment space for so long. Up until this time, the people that you're around, the people that you're associated with, the connection and the value of these people and how they value you.
Yes. True.
You're not a normal human being.
No, sir.
Let's define the word legend in your own way. Let's not use the dictionary.
No.
Let's define the word legend.
You know, DJ Rowe was the one who first started calling me legend. And I said to Rowe, you know what legend mean? And Rowe says to me, yeah man, extraordinary person. So a legend, I believe, is a person that do things different. Things that can't be repeated.
Stand out.
Stand out. It can't be repeated because when you look at my background in promotion, to know that I'm a promoter, only promoter in Connecticut to bring all three of the original Wailing Wailers into Connecticut to perform. It can't be repeated because the last Wailers that I brought to Connecticut perform is Bunny Wailer, April 29, 2016. Shortly after that, Bunny Wailer passed away. So you can't repeat that. No promoter can repeat that. I brought Peter Tosh over 5 times to perform in Connecticut. He passed away. Nobody can repeat that. Bob Marley 2 times. 1975, Bob Marley did his first solo album called Natty Dread.
You brought Bob Marley for the first time to Hartford.
You didn't know this?
Well, I know. We're educating people.
Yeah.
This cannot be repeated.
No.
This is a historical moment.
No, it can't be repeated. When Bob Marley...
What do you feel about this? Let's before you go into
how
that.
I feel about that
How you feel about your accomplishments?
How I feel about it now, how I feel about it back then when I was...
Both. No, when you didn't do it back then, and you bring these big, impactful performances, how did you feel?
Back then I didn't feel any way about it. I was just doing a show.
Because you were passionate about entertainment.
Yeah, I
and
was
music.
just doing a
But
show.
now, how do you feel,
Well,
knowing that it cannot be
I'm
repeated?
gonna be totally honest. The 2 weeks ago you saw me with Anthony B up in Massachusetts.
Right.
And the way how those people up there was approaching me and identifying me, I realized that I was a special person. Because they was doing that based off the Bob Marley inspiration.
The accolades.
Yeah.
Things that you have accomplished that a lot of people wouldn't have accomplished.
When I go Rhode Island and them place there, people treat me like I'm Willie Nelson. You understand?
When people give you your props, once you're being
Hartford.
saluted for something that you have done, that, you know, a lot of people didn't get the opportunity. Because opportunity doesn't just come to everybody, you know. Opportunity come to who it's chosen for. So anybody could have get that opportunity, but it wasn't for them.
No, it wasn't for them.
It was for Ardie
It wasn't for
Cuban.
them. Because let me show you something how right you are. Bunny Wailer, I've been trying to bring into Connecticut for numerous years. And it's like it was impossible to make it happen. And the one time when I didn't call, the one time, out of the clear blue, it was Bunny Wailer calling my phone. I didn't call him. Bunny Wailer called my phone and said, "Boss, you bring my 2 brothers to Hartford, and I alone you never bring." I said, "Who is this?" He said, "The one and only Dan Dada, Jabi, Bunny Wailer." I said, "Bunny." But you, I recognize his voice. I know it was him. I said, "Bunny." I said, "What go on, Jabi?" I said, "Yeah, man, it's the time has come. I need you to bring me to Hartford." But at the time, when he says to me, "I need you to bring me to Hartford to perform for his people," at time his people know him. I never know that Bunny was really writing the history into his death. It's after him dying I realized
how important it was.
Yeah, that Bunny was really saying and not saying it out, that I'm about to die. Is it true?
In not so much words. And you know what's so funny? It feels almost like these impactful moments that you have experienced, they live with you for a long time.
Yes, because you know why? Bunny, I gotta tell you something about Bunny Wailer especially. The night of the show in Hartford at the West Indian Social Club.
Right.
No matter what you see them write about the sickness that follows, the sickness started from New Mexico. New Mexico, because the tour started in New Mexico and come right up the line to Connecticut. So Bunny was getting sick from New Mexico and right up to Connecticut. And after the show at the West Indian Club, he was sick. And then when he got down to SOBs to do the following night, 2 nights after, he's sick. We never thought that he would have even do that show. When I say sick, we didn't know what was wrong. And then the tour continued south. I have a show in Atlanta, myself and my co-promoter, Clarky. And Bonnie was so sick we couldn't do that show. We have to cancel that show. Went down to North Carolina. We did that show. Then we finally end up in Broward County for the AEG show. And just 2 hours before to go to the venue, he got real ill and entered into the hospital, where they kept him in Broward County Hospital for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then after they released Bonnie Whaler, he went back to Jamaica, down there in Jamaica. Then he went to Cuba to seek medical help. Then he come back to Jamaica, and after that everything just go downhill. The next thing you know, that he passed away. So I am one of the only promoter and one of the last promoter that get a chance
To work with him.
work with the last living original Whalers.
So that was a little history on some of the sacrifice that I made in building reggae music market in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. I went to jail for building the music, defending the music, and I never heard of another promoter in the history of Connecticut that get thrown in jail for the music, for the community, for the people, defending the people, but I did. And it's not one time either. That was just 1 out of 3 times. I went to jail 3 times promoting this music called reggae, so that the people in the community of Hartford and the state of Connecticut could freely have reggae at their disposal right now. None of them never take any risk. None of them never make any sacrifice to go lay down on the cold concrete in Hartford jail, but I did. And I don't think them in Hartford will ever understand what I've done so they could have the music today. And when I look at it today, how the situation is in Hartford, especially in the dark end, how they destroy it and the position where they have it today, I must honestly say that it really hurts me, really hurts me deep inside my soul. Because music is beautiful. Reggae music is just beautiful. It's very soothing for your soul. You understand? And to see where they bring it to. They bring it to the end. Where it is in 2025, the music is at the last end. The music is on life support. They hooked up many drip lines, but the drip line can't save the music in the dark end anymore. And all of that comes from ignorance. All of that comes from jealousy. If they don't know to do it and if they can't do it, they don't want nobody else to do it. They come up with this thing called support for support. That is the final nail in the casket, how to destroy the music. If they can't do it and if they can't have it, then nobody else must cherish with it. So yeah, it hurts me. It always gonna hurt me to my grave how I see them deal with the music in Hartford right now. See it. Hartford is the only place I see this thing happen, where the hating and the bad mindism is so intense that there's no cure for it. Because that bad mind intensity is like you put gonorrhea, AIDS, syphilis, COVID, and all the curse from out of hell on the music. All the generation curse they brought into the music in the dark end of Hartford. See it? So when you hear me say dark end, don't chastise me and think ill of me. It's just where it is, and the truth is just the truth. Unless somebody right now can come and show me the bright light that used to be in the north end of Hartford. When the bright light was in that space, I proudly say north end, but there's no more bright light in that space. So I call it dark end, and sometimes I call it fort end, F-O-R-T, fort end, because that's where it is. Whether you agree with me or not, it's just the truth. But I still have the love for the music, and I still have the love for the people, and I still have great love for the promoters, no matter if they start yesterday. It's just that you have some demonic ones that enter into the promotional world that have no good intention for the music. All they have is a mind of destruction for the music and promoting. They don't even want to support each other. Party. Every time somebody have a party, you have that destruction and that dark cloud hanging over it, where they do everything to flop each other parties or flop each other concert. Because the minute in the dark end, you hear them asking when they see the flyer, who is doing the concert? You know you're in trouble as a promoter if it's you doing it. Because the only reason why they are asking who is doing the concert is because in their mind and the plan that them have is to put obstruction and build walls in front of what you're trying to do so you don't succeed. And it's just true. It's the truth I'm speaking. And when you hear them, the party is over. A woman or a man keep a birthday party. Soon as it's over, you hear them come with them calculator. Start calculating how much people was in that party. Oh, 100. You have one guy in a 8-ford city. He is the big dictator and cultist. And him only use one number. 150 people gonna be at that person party. Oh, that party, Drew. Oh, Drew. That guy there from Cromwell, him now get more 80 people. They have the calculator adding up. And it's not just one set of people they do it to. They do it to everybody, including me. And they will try and try and try and try. The cultists and them friend until them eventually enough people listen to them, and they will flop your party and they will flop your concert. But you know, right now I see something happening. I see where it start to affect others away from me. The same one them that used to fight me, the same one them that used to beat me down. Now me hear them, even 2 days ago, me hear one of them got the big caption, promoters in Hartford. The same one them that used to beat me down, the same one them who tell people bad things about me when I been pointing out these things, so that you need to come together and work together as a group and a team to be successful in this. Because if you work together as a team and a group, the little 50 and the little 100 of them haters, them couldn't stop your party. But then you make it gone, you pay too much attention to me, trying to destroy me, that your own pot was leaning sideways, leaking out all the water and the rice out the pot. You never have time to see that to correct it. So now it drops on your table. Now call out and cry out, oh, them bad mind, them this and that. So there wasn't bad mind all along when I said them bad mind. There wasn't wicked when I said it. It's only when it reach, you begin realize, well, Cuban was right. They fill with nothing more than generational curse. And now them just begin to understand. Because when they put out their money and their own thing begin to fail because of those same people that was trying to make me feel, no, you're crying out. It's too late for you to cry out. Anyway, ain't not one damn thing I can do about it, more than to sit back in the theater and watch what's going on, because I can't stop it. You can't stop it. It's gone bad already. Them build a high school for one reason, is to teach people how to eat against each other. They build a college in Hartford for one reason, to graduate people how to be top eaters, top cultists in this musical arena. Now, This next clip that I will show you, every time I go to perform, the fans would bring cigars, boxes of cigars. I have fans even bring me books and cigars and put it at my feet on the stage when I'm performing. So they keep saying, when you gonna light up the cigar, Cuban? Cuban, you gotta light the cigar for us. So on this night, I decide for the first time to light up the cigar for the people and take about 4 puff out of it when Mario Chief, my son, called me out on stage. Let's watch it together.
Why the cigar? Ganja, right straight.
Now, this next footage is my first time performing in Rhode Island, myself and my team. And Frostman Brilliant was there backstage with me. And you're going to see me brought on Frostman to come up and join me and perform on stage. So what you see now, what you're going to see right now, is a huge audience, 1,500 people in front of me by myself. Because I have this song which you hear me keep singing whenever I enter the stage. I always sing it. Ganja, hinami kaiba cigar them. Ganja, loading it was my big song throughout that time. So Rhode Island happened to be the state that did kind of ease up on the legalization of ganja. So it's so funny that night. When me and Mario Chief reached Rhode Island at the venue, the policeman give me a bag, a brown bag. And I said, what's in it? Him say, oh, that's ganja. And we're celebrating your song. I'm afraid to take the bag from the police and Mario they talk about, take it, daddy, take it, let me smoke it. If you don't want it, give it to me, we smoke it. I say, Mario is a police giving us weed. So even though them ease off the ganja thing in Rhode Island, me never trust it because police are giving me a bag of weed, and the other policeman come over and say, it's quite okay, Cuban, take the weed. You can do whatever you want with it, So Mario grabbed the bag of weed from the police. And I never want to have that with the weed because I don't smoke weed anyhow. So it never makes sense me go to jail or Rhode Island for weed. You understand me? When me not even smoke weed. So Mario take the weed, but nothing happened, and they called me on stage. Mario Chief called me out on stage. So let me watch it together. My first time in Rhode Island, 1,500 people by myself. That many of your new artists can't draw that amount of crowd by themselves, but I did it. You understand me? So let's watch it together. So that's myself and my little brother